Hey, how you doing? It's me, Lee again. Um, so what I want to talk about really is this idea that I've had. It's going to affect my YouTube channel. And a lot of things. Um, so I'm going to rename this channel Blood Wars because um, I've been after doing my research. I really got a lot of faith in my theory. That we were involved in a blood war that goes back thousands of years. Um, we're different. The RH negatives are different. Our blood is copper based. We haven't got this rhesus gene. I suspect there's a reptilian gene there, or even maybe like an alien sort of Anunnaki kind of gene or something like that. But what we're facing is a race war. That's what we're in. But the problem is when you don't know, when you haven't got knowledge of yourself, you don't know what's happening. It's weird how I've always seemed to get on well with coloured people, because I think they've suffered racism and we have as well, but we don't realise. I think they like us to think that people just hate us, our personality or whatever. But of course, it's not that. It's just because of our blood. Um, Yeah, and I'm sort of I've been doing a lot of research and I'm writing up, the information that I want to put on the website, But you can see how the elites are obsessed with it. It's one of the most mentioned words in the Bible, and according to most scripture, there's these two bloodlines on Earth, and there's the RH negative and there's the RH positive. So, the whole website is going to be about that. It's going to be talking about that and how it all links in. You know, um, I think the problem that we've got, is the actual the evil people or beings that are behind this. We're sort of more closely related to them, because they're all RH negatives. I'm going to be talking about how the Queen has most of the power. She has loads of power, and to think she doesn't use it is, silly. Um, she's RH negative. All the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds, they're all RH negatives. All the presidents of the United States, and probably a lot of ours as well, RH negatives, and related to the Queen, you know. Um, so I don't know where it's coming from, the hatred. I think it's probably coming from them. It's coming from the cabal, and that they don't like us. I think according to some people, some of the secret societies, their whole ethos is to basically discredit religion and discredit the Bible. But the problem is, the RH negative bloodline is evidence, of two bloodlines, you know, and maybe even evidence of a reptilian, in our in our um, in our heritage, in our blood. Um, and it's all about that, all our harassment. It all links in, and these are the people who are doing the sort of things like 9/11 and that, and I suspect they've either been left in charge of us, by the Anunnaki, or there's some of them are still here and they're still working behind the scenes. So I'm gonna sort of tailor my YouTube channel. We're gonna be talking more about that, more about the Anunnaki and stuff, and biblical stuff, reptilian connections, reptilian worship all over the world. Serpent worship is all over the world, megaliths, and that it's all because it's all part of our story. It's all part of the gang stalking, you know. So the idea is to have, show the main sort of like conspiracy, which I'm through my investigations, is like this is what is shown up. There's this blood war going on, you know. And then beside that, having sort of advice for targeted individuals, and how it all links in as well, because I found a connection as well between New Age and gang stalking. What gang stalking is basically, in all its forms, is weaponized New Age frequency knowledge. If you look into New Age, they have these frequencies that are supposed to repair your DNA and things like that, and open your third eye, cleanse your chakras, like 963 is one, 432 hertz. They have lots of them, and they're supposed to affect you, in a positive way. But if you was to weaponize that knowledge and find the frequencies that affect you in a negative way, that's what they're doing to us, Microwave harassment, same thing, noise is it's electromagnetic wave, Okay, so is vision as well, it's electromagnetic wave. That's what gang stalking is based on, and it's slightly satanic as well. And that's how it all links in with black magic, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So that's what it is, and that's the danger of New Age, really. Because I've investigated it myself, and I find most of it to be pretty harmless, but there is going to be this evil side of it, and that's the danger, really, that I can see. I mean, New Age is sort of like, you can classify it with dowsing as well, but they found, old sort of shaman, like operating stuff, like a surgeon's earliest sort of toolkit, and it had divining rods in there, and he was obviously using the divining rods to find out where he should operate, where the problem was. I can totally believe it. I've tried using divining rods myself, and it's real. Okay, so that's how a lot of it links in, and it all goes back in the end to blood. That's why blood is mentioned so much in the Bible. It's why we're being harassed. It's more important than you realise. It's about our ancestors and that, But like I say, we've been I think we're being demonised a bit. But as I'm going to be pointing out on the website and in subsequent films, a lot of great men and women have been RH negatives. A lot. Kennedys were. JFK, he was, and Tesla, he was. There's a lot of good people. So, I think I think that's what's happening to us, and that's like the whole avenue that I'm going to go down. And I'm going to sort of like all my research. I'm going to put on a website, on my Blood Wars research, and into the sort of the 13 Illuminati bloodlines. That's why you have them. You've got these 13 lines. We must be related in some way to these people. We've kind of broken away at some point. In the past, and I don't know the story behind that. I bet secret societies have got that knowledge. But I haven't. But I'm assuming like someone in our in our background has turned against the evil ways, that they were going down. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. So look out for the change, you know. It goes to Blood Wars. And, you know, I'm going to try and like step it up. I'm going to get a website going, so that'll be sort of my insurance, you know. Because I know YouTube channels are getting shut down left, right, and centre, as you lot well know as well. You know, YouTube's gone downhill because of it as well. My homepage isn't nearly as interesting. I'm using it a lot less, you know. So, but I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and then if I get shut down, I'll still have my website. I'll be able to concentrate on that, you know. And that's just the way it'll have to be then. If like YouTube is going to get ruined, you know. But okay, so I'll see you guys. Yeah, keep going, keep going.